Just be the light. Be who you are. Take up all of your space. And that is a beacon. That is a calling that you are putting out when you are being all of who you are. When you are not shrinking, when you are not covering up your light, when you're not worrying about whether or not you're stepping on somebody else's toes, then now you are activating your full light, and that light is going to cause others who are looking for your light, they're going to know which way to go. So you got to get used to being the light everywhere. You're not supposed to be focusing on a niche. You're supposed to be focusing on being the light. Focus on being the light. So I'm standing here and I have my arm raised, and Spirit is showing me my arm as the lighthouse as I yell out, "Hey, I'm over here. I'm over here." And I feel like I need to bring context to this since I am recording this now and this is going to go on YouTube. In my business, as a spiritual entrepreneur, helping people to break down their boundaries, take off the mask, and really learn how to heal and arrive back at their authentic self so they can live the life of peace and love and prosperity and happiness and joy and ease and flow that they deserve. In that process of figuring out how do I want to present my business, I felt in me that I am going to lead leaders. And I didn't know how I was going to do that. So I started to target, because that's what they tell you. When you have a business, you got to have a target audience. So who's my target audience? So I thought that my target audience were leaders. My target audience is visionaries, people who have a purpose to and a calling to help other people. And so I began to try to target my business towards visionaries and leaders. And it wasn't clicking. And what I had to do was drop that, over time, over doing my inner work. Spirit showed me that I needed to drop that and just focus on what I'm being led to do. Stop trying to figure out how it's going to work out and just do what you feel called to do. So I dropped the whole, well, let me try to figure out how to market myself. And I dropped that perspective and I looked at, well, who am I? And how do I want to show up? And how do I feel like I can best serve? What feels right to me? What is in alignment with me, with who I am? And what I feel like I've come to do. And as I began to focus on that, then things started to shift. And so now I'm finding myself in different groups and different places and different scenarios and situations where I see how I'm being positioned to lead leaders in a way that I would have never been able to put together for myself. And what Spirit was showing me is that it wasn't meant for you to target out the leaders, because what you needed to do was raise your hand, because really what my target audience is anybody who is ready to do the work to heal themselves and to learn a process of how to line up to their inner guidance so they will always have access to the healing of their soul. That they will always have a process to initiate the healing of their soul. And so that's who my target audience is. But that could be anywhere. That could be any person, in any business, in any location. How do you target that when that is your target audience? So I was put into a situation where I was not able to focus on a target audience. So when your target audience is anyone who is ready, then now what you have to do is raise your hand and yell out and say, "Hey, this is what's going on over here. This is what I'm doing over here." And those who are ready and in position to do the work will see you and will come. Because you are the lighthouse. Spirit showed me as my hand was raised, Spirit showed me my arm becoming the lighthouse and me emerging just like a flat sea, and then you have this tall lighthouse, that in the dark you have boats who are looking, who when they get lost, or whatever lighthouses actually do for the boats, but we know that it's providing direction. And so spirit is showing that as you stand there and you say, hey, I'm over here, right? Your target audience is anybody who is ready. Hey, I'm over here. And see, the lighthouse has a light in it that goes around, and it shines 360 around and around and around. And the lighthouse is not focused on where it's not shining its light. The lighthouse is only focused on being the light. That's it. And when the boats who are in the dark, or the people who are in the dark, are in a position where they can see, where they are looking, and then that light shines, oh, we see a flicker, let's go that direction. Something is there. It's over there. I don't know. We have to wait for it to come back around again, but I saw it was in that direction. Now we have direction because I am looking and I'm ready to move in the direction of my healing, in the direction of my, I want to say salvation, but if you're lost and you're trying to get found, I mean, I guess that's what that is, right? So for those of you who are a light, for those of you who know that you have a calling to help usher in individuals who are ready for a particular type of transformation, you have to remember that the traditional way of advertising may not be for you. And if you are being led by spirit, then you have to know that you are the light, and that you can't focus on where you're shining your light. You just have to be wherever you are. Just be the light. Be who you are. Take up all of your space. And that is a beacon. That is a calling that you are putting out when you are being all of who you are. When you are not shrinking, when you are not covering up your light, when you're not worrying about whether or not you're stepping on somebody else's toes, then now you are activating your full light, and that light is going to cause others who are looking for your light, they're going to know which way to go. So you got to get used to being the light everywhere. Don't be the light when you're just talking about your business at a networking event. Be the light when you're at home. Be the light when you're at the grocery store. And when I say be the light, I mean be all of who you are. Take inventory of how do I shift? Do I shift? Do I change? Do I manipulate myself? Do I filter myself? Do I censor myself when I'm in certain places, in certain environments, around certain people? Because that is you not being all of you. And then you want to ask the question, if I am censoring, why? What am I censoring for? What is that doing for me to censor? What is the purpose of the censoring? Because you have to understand that the censor is the bondage. And the bondage is coming from the label. Well, I'm censoring because I'm in the school. Well, I'm censoring because I'm at the job. Well, I'm censoring because I'm in front of this religious group. Well, right? That is the label. That is the bondage. That is the expectation. Well, I'm censoring because no one knows that I do the woo-woo. And they might leave. See, when you do that work, you understand, you'll get to the place where you understand that you are doing it from a place of fear. That is the root of it. And that is what I'm here to do, is to help show you that, so that way you can uproot that and be all of the light that you are, because you are here to be the lighthouse, and somebody is looking for you. You don't know where they are, so you have to be the anchored in energy of love, the anchored in energy of support, the anchored in energy of whatever the energy is that you bring. The anchored in energy of calmness and peace. Maybe for you it's excitement and joy. Maybe that's what you bring to the room, but you can't do that if you're censoring. So Spirit is saying to me, for you, for us to stop censoring yourself. And when you ask that question, am I censoring? Am I filtering? Then now let's dig deeper and find out why. And then let it go. Face that fear and begin to uncensor yourself. Take the mask off, take the muffle off, and be all of who you are, because that is what you came to do. You came to be the light, because those around you are lost and in darkness, and you don't know where to shine I'm gonna shine it right here because I know they're lost right there. You can't identify that. That's not your role. That's not your job. Your job is to shine. And anything that's stopping you from shining, it's up to you to let it go. It's up to you to let it go. So that's what I came up here to say. I am April Jett, the bondage breaker, the soul transformation facilitator. So look, hit like, hit subscribe if you'd like to be connected to me. If you want to hear more of this, if you want to see more of what I have coming up, I have a podcast called Behind the Mask, where I'm taking you behind the mask. It's just starting. It is just starting. So it's a whole lot to come. But right now I'm interviewing individuals who feel the need, who have the desire to contribute to a community that is shedding light and creating transparency and in a space that is usually divided. When we talk about spirituality, it is usually divided by religion. And so what I want to do is create a space where we can go and we can talk about who we are, where we are on our spiritual journey, talk about all things woo, talk about all things religion, and not feel ostracized or alone, not feel judged, but to come here with an open mind, open ear to learn from one another. Because whether you're an atheist or you a hardcore Christian or a Muslim or some other religion where I don't know them all, regardless of wherever you are is important, because it's somebody else that's where you are and they feel alone. So I'm doing season 1 focused on those stories, but after season 1 and moving forward, we're talking about all things spiritual. We're talking about near-death experiences. We're talking about personal development. What have you overcome? How have you come from behind that mask? Who are you now today? How's your transformation looking? Where are you headed? That's what we're doing. We're creating community. So if you'd like to contribute your wisdom, your light, if you want to take that muffle off, take that mask off, if you want to go somewhere and be uncensored and actually be embraced because of who you are and how different you are, then this is where you belong. Something else I have coming up. Look, if you want to strengthen your relationship to your inner guidance, if you want to strengthen your ability to know and hear and be able to act on your inner guidance, your intuition more readily, more easily, then I have a way to teach you how to do that. Oracle walkthrough reading. So if you want to learn how to use your intuition better, I'm going to teach you through oracle cards how to use your intuition to read the cards. And what's happening is you're strengthening that ability, you're strengthening that superpower, and you end up being able to integrate that skill into your everyday life. Yeah, that part. So everything you need is in the description box. So make sure to just stay connected with me, okay? You can all the information you need to know is going to be in the description box on how to get connected to me. So just make sure to just stick around. All right. I love you. Bye.